Childhood fears. I know some of you might be capping in the comments, oh, actually, I wasn't scared of it. Yes, you were, bro. Stop lying. Everybody's scared of something. People really get the most random fears of all time. For God's sake, ovophobia exists. The fear of eggs. Fear is a natural human response, and hell, man, some of these fears left me traumatized, bro. And I'm sure a lot of you probably had the same fears as well. But anyways, I'm sure you guys are gonna absolutely fucking laugh at this one. Let's start with the goofiest fear I've ever had. Pretty close to eggs. Mushrooms. Yeah, I used to be afraid of mushrooms. I don't know how. And now the first time this happened, I was with my brother, the duck, right? It was our main character day, right? It was a birthday party for the both of us. We had just finished setting up a bounce house, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing. I was just sitting in the yard looking at the grass, and all of a sudden, I saw a mushroom. I just screamed. I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? And I just look at it in disgust and fear. And then my brother looks over at me, and then he starts screaming too, and we just book it inside. And then we went to our parents, and we were like, we couldn't even get a fucking sentence out. We were trying to say there's something in the yard. We don't know what it is. But to my parents, it probably sounded like, give it a little leg, jugula. Huh? Like we were talking like Courage the Cowardly Dog, bro. It was hard to even decipher us. And then I went outside, and they were like, it's just a mushroom. And I was like, no, Mom, watch out. It's evil. It's gonna kill the whole family bloodline. I'm convinced. I was convinced that it was just sitting there menacingly staring at me. I don't know, bro. Like the mushroom was just chilling, doing its thing. Like, I don't know. No one could definitely relate to me on that one. But this one, I'm sure a lot of you will be able to relate to. Every kid had a fear of the dark. Like, if you're saying that you didn't have a fear of the dark, all I'm saying is, bro, you're lying. You're just capping right now. The dark was definitely one of my prime fears growing up. And every time my parents would shut the lights off and go upstairs, I would just book it up the stairs because I was afraid the dark was going to eat me alive or something. I don't know. And of course, my ass did the animal walk up the stairs on all fours. Because in my child brain, that was the fastest way to traverse. I was in fight or flight, Jesus, in that moment. And now when I got to my room, I had to figure out a way to shut the light off, but go in my bed at the same time. The light switch was about like 20 feet from my bed. So this is what I did. I would do like a crazy ass dive on my bed, like that one Playboy Cardi album cover. And then I would quickly turn my nightlight on. And I was like, whoo, I'm safe. But there was one thing I forgot about. The monsters, man. They were everywhere. I always thought like there were monsters under my bed when I was really young. I don't know why. But yeah, the books that I was reading, let's say that didn't help my fear of monsters being under my bed. I basically read almost the entire Goosebumps series. Yeah, I was actually an idiot, bro. I don't understand why the fuck I read the whole Goosebumps series when the entire plot of every single book is a monster that's like trying to kill you or something. I don't know. I'm truly amazed how I was able to sit through those books, but I'm sure for those of you that read the Goosebumps books, man, all of you had that thought in your head, shit, bro, what if this is real? That one monster under the sink, bro, I was afraid I was just gonna open the fucking bottom cabinet of my sink and then I was just gonna be greeted with that. But I was truly ready for the worst. Halloween is right around the corner, right? And I'm sure a lot of you have been to a store called Spirit Halloween or something kind of similar to that. And the whole premise of the store is, yeah, you buy Halloween costumes. That's pretty much it. And the store had like these little animatronics that were creepy as hell, and like you would step on it to activate it, and I was so scared every time I was in the store trying to buy a costume. Like I was afraid I was accidentally gonna step on one and get like the fattest jump scare of my life. Like I was gonna have heart palpitations at age fucking 10. Now that wasn't exactly my ideal motive when I was going costume shopping. I mean, I don't know what I exactly expected. It was a Halloween themed store, so obviously it's gonna be scary. Well, to my 9-10-year-old brain. And now one of the animatronics in particular happened to be a clown, which was another one of my biggest fears. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this one heavy. You know, I was really afraid of clowns. I don't understand why. I mean, I guess the whole killer clown trend in 2016 really didn't help. That kind of just made my fear a lot worse. Like, just how they looked really creeped me out. I used to look through, like, I Spy books all the time, and they had pictures of, like, the creepiest clowns, bro. And, like, sometimes at night when I would close my eyes, I would visualize this photo or just any of my fears and just go like, oh, and I would wake up in a cold sweat, and my heart rate would be going like I just fucking chugged a whole Monster pure energy. You know what else would get my heart rate going? Needles. It was rough giving me that flu shot. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Every year I would cry and whine. I'm like, I don't want the flu shot. My mom would always try to bribe me, and she'll be like, I'll get you stuff if you get your flu shot, because she didn't want me to get sick, and I didn't want to get sick either, but I was just scared as fuck of needles. Then the person that was giving me the flu vaccine was like, all right, honey, you're a big boy now. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I thought it was like the worst pain ever, and I was really going through it. But bro, I should have saw the needles back in like the 1960s. Jesus Christ, I would have been mortified. But yeah, speaking of being in good health, health class was another thing. Yeah, they didn't just give me the talk in 5th grade, 6th grade, whatever. I had to sit through a bunch of PSAs that were traumatizing, to say the least. Like, I had to watch what happens when you get addicted to a certain substance when I was in 6th grade. Like, bro, I'm not ready for that yet. And I also had to watch somebody give birth. Like, I'm not trying to watch that when I'm in 6th grade, bro. Like, I am way too young for this shit. Like, let me enjoy my life being innocent while I'm young. Like, goddamn. Like, I really don't need to know about this stuff. I left class that day scarred. Like, I felt like I was gonna have, like, some kind of war flashback looking back on it. And when my mom asked me, oh, how was school today? I just sat there in silence. I didn't even want to talk about it. Me and my brother both looked at each other, and we knew we both had to go through it. And not only did I have a fear of the doctor, but I had a fear of the dentist as well. It was just primarily for the same reason. Yeah, sometimes they would use needles. And there was this one particular moment in my life that I was like, damn, I'm really fucking scared of the dentist. Now, there was like 4 dentists in one office, and they were all working on my teeth. I forget what it was for. At first, they put on the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, you know, to just ease me into it, and then all of a sudden, all these 4 professional looking ass dentists walk in, and then they just start fucking putting drills in my mouth and shit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I just started crying, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to scream. I was gonna make them like put a dent in my gum or something. Like, I didn't want that to happen either. So I just stuck it out and was just crying in silence the entire time. Like, I seriously did not know what I was in for. I was geeking out because I was playing Mario Party 4 on one of those GameCube things that they had set up in the office. And to be fair, yeah, it kind of worked. It took my mind off the dentist. But once they said, Burdie, your chair's ready, I literally felt like I fucking shit myself. I'm not even gonna lie. Now, when I got back from the dentist, rarely I would go outside, but I would play a lot of video games. And of course, there were some that left me traumatized, to say the least. Now, a few games that scare me, of course, we gotta start with FNAF, because holy fucking shit, bro. Every kid was scared of this game. Now, when FNAF came out, I was in like 5th or 6th grade. I was pretty old. But fuck, man, that first jump scare hit different, bro. After I saw that, I literally almost fell out of my fucking chair. And even just like watching Markiplier and Jacksepticeye play, that in itself kind of already scared me, and I didn't really want to try the game. I was kind of reluctant towards it. But my friends were like, yo, bro, like, you should actually try the game. Like, it's fun. I was like, okay. And of course, I tried it, and it fucking scared me. The first night I played it, I kid you not, I was up the entire night afraid that an animatronic was just gonna spawn in my room. I somehow made sense of that in my brain. But FNAF aside, after that, I got introduced into the world of creepypastas. I don't know why I even got into this. I guess my curiosity got the best of me. But there was this one day in my fucking 5th grade class, right, where there was this kid, and he was like, hello, Burdie, have you heard of creepypastas? I was like, the hell is a creepypasta? Like, I thought it was like literal creepy looking pasta. Like, I didn't know what the fuck this dude was talking about. Well, Burdie, I'll have you know, it is actually the creepy ending of the game. He went in a little more depth from that, but I didn't really understand what he was saying, I'm not gonna lie. But like I said, my curiosity got the best of me, so I just looked this up on YouTube. I was like, creepy pasta, what the hell is that? And I saw the creepiest looking picture of Mario, and I literally dropped my phone like I was fumbling it around, like I was so fucking scared of it. And I watched like people explain some of them. I'm like, damn, that's scary. And I thought it was gonna happen to me if I played the game. I remember there was one about Lavender Town, and I literally thought that was gonna happen to me if I went into Lavender Town in Pokemon. But video games were not the end of my media consumption. I would also watch a lot of movies and TV shows, and of course, a lot of them had some weird moments, like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Adventure Time. And even regular shows sometimes, man. Like, I don't know. There were a lot of scary ones. But anyways, I remember every day my parents were working, I would be at my grandmother's house watching TV. I mean, I didn't really know what else to do. So I was basically binge watching these shows. So I was seeing all these episodes. So these shows and maybe video games are like the bane of my existence in the summer. I wasn't doing anything else. Although these shows were goated, yeah, they had some questionable moments. Like there was this one episode of Adventure Time with the deer, and yeah, I don't even want to get into it. It's weird as fuck. Now, as for movies, there was one movie in particular that really scared me. It wasn't a horror movie. Those definitely scared me though. But let's set the scene. It was a nice cold winter day. I was walking into the library with my class. It was the day before Christmas break, and we were just gonna do some fun stuff for the day. Arts and crafts, eat some Christmas cookies, maybe watch a movie. Librarian said, all right, we're gonna turn on a movie. And guess what fucking movie she put on, bro? The Grinch live action, bro. Of course, the one in 2000. Jesus fucking Christ. Even looking at this thing today sends so many goddamn chills down my spine. Like, bro, who let this slide? Look at his creepy ass smile. I just felt my soul leave my body in that very moment. But honestly, bro, what scared me the most as a kid, you guys remember those like social media or email chains that people would send out? Oh, if you don't send this to 10 people, you're gonna die. Or like someone's gonna rob your house or some shit. I believed. I don't understand how, what in my brain was like, yeah, someone's just gonna spawn in my house if I don't send this to 10 people. But I believed it. So I was panicking. I was like, oh my God, mom, I need to send it to 10 people right now. She was like, no, it's not real, honey. Yes, it is. It's real. Trust me. So you want to know what I did? I didn't take her word for it. I sent that fucking thing to 10 people. Wow, what a fucking idiot I was. Childhood toys. Now, a lot of these toys, most of us had growing up. And of course, I had most of these toys because I was spoiled as and my parents got me most of the stuff that I asked for. And I would always get really upset every time my parents wouldn't accept my amazing offer. Mom, please, like, you have to get me like 10 more packs of Pokemon cards if I do the dishes. Wow, what an incredible offer. She's definitely agreeing to that offer. Like, what kind of offers was I throwing on the table here? And I think it's safe to say that a lot of us would have to beg and beg and just do fucking anything for these toys, all right? One time I tried opening up a lemonade stand with my friend, and that just didn't even go well at all. We made $0.00. Like, we were out here trying to grind for Pokemon cards, and we were out in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere, so obviously no one's gonna pull up for some lemonade. Now, first we gotta start with Pokemon cards. No, Pokemon cards were just it back in the day, bro. Everybody wanted them. When I was like 9, 10 years old, that's when like the EX cards started coming out, and it just fucking blew my 9-year-old mind. And the cards were practically on steroids compared to all the other ones. And now I was a fiend for these cards. The more EX cards I had, the cooler I thought I was. That's how my mind worked. And if you got a box with like the EX card in the front, like you were guaranteed one. Or you could buy a pack and just hope you pull one. And most of the time I got the boxes because I would end up getting like multiple in one box. And that led to me having an entire bin full of Pokemon cards. And I thought I had a lot of Pokemon cards until one day I went over to my friend's house. We would always play Pokemon cards at school and shit, and you know, sometimes he would even bring his DS to school, so that's how I became friends with him, you know, through our like for Pokemon. I go to his house, and I kid you not, this dude has like 5 tubs, like big ass tubs filled with Pokemon cards. Bro was like Scrooge McDuck, but with Pokemon cards. It was wild. Bro probably had like a holographic Charizard too. I wouldn't be surprised. But if you did have a holographic Charizard, you were him. Like, that's just how it worked. At this point, it was like 2011, so no one really had one. But everybody was still raving about it. And let's just be honest. Let's keep it a stack for a second. Nobody knew how the hell to play the game. We would all try to figure it out, like at the after school program. We were just sitting there trying to figure out how to play the game, but no one knew, okay? Like, we were like fucking 3rd graders, 2nd graders. We didn't know how to play, so we never really battled each other. We kind of just showed off our Pokemon cards, and that's how it worked. Now we gotta talk about Beyblades. Now, if you didn't have Beyblades growing up, I'm very sorry for you, bro. You missed out. And since everybody knew how to use the Beyblade, you know, they were it back in the day. Now, sometimes in class, but mostly at this after school program I went to, everybody would surround each other. One kid would always bring the arena, and whoever that dude was, that man was filled with clutch juice, all right? He got the arena, and everybody took out their Beyblades, and some kids had like some crazy looking ones that were mad expensive. I was kind of like the middle ground. You know, I didn't really have anything crazy because my parents weren't willing to drop that much money on Beyblade, but I did have some pretty good ones. But these kids had like some crazy looking ones that just like completely blew mine out of the water. And I was mad, bro. I was like, that's not fair. Your mom got you a cool one. And then I started crying. I was like, okay, it wasn't that. But these kids had Beyblades that looked like some kind of lethal weapon. So obviously I was going to get smoked. Y'all remember the Wubble Bubble Ball? Every kid wanted one of these. Everyone thought it was like the coolest thing on earth when they showed these in like Cartoon Network commercials. Hey kids, introducing the Wubble Bubble Ball. The ball that never pops. Yo dude, that looks so cool.
2 hours later.
It fucking popped. It popped already. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? I spent $20 for this bullshit. I had my hard-earned birthday money, and I spent it on that fucking bullshit. Yeah, no, I literally got money for just existing. I was out here living on recruit difficulty back in the day. But my dumbass spent it on the Wubble Bubble Ball, which is crazy. Some of you might not even remember these, but Go-Go's Crazy Bones. Now, these just went hard. Now, this is the toy that I had tubs of back in the day. Like, I think I still have them now. I'm gonna take a video and, like, show them on screen right now. I don't know how I had so many of these fucking things. They had a little, like, portable sack, pause, I guess, and basically you just throw them in there and you can bring them anywhere. So I brought them to my relative's house, and every time I would lose one or leave one there, like, I would know because I would keep track. I'd be like, oh no, I lost this one. Like, I would know. I knew in the back of my mind which ones I lost. And then I come back to my relative's house and they would say, hey kiddo, I found one of your little giggy goes, whatever the hell they're called. Nobody knew what they were called, but my family literally thought I was insane. Like, I think that's what was going on. I think I actually like drove myself insane, like trying to collect every single one. Like, I really was a collector back in my day. Like, I was a merchant with the Go-Go's. Like, I literally had most of the rare ones, too. Like, just any money that I got, I would blow it on Go-Go's. And, of course, when I bought the Wubble Bubble Ball, I was pissed that I couldn't. Bro, we cannot forget Hot Wheels. I had the longest fucking track of all time. I would build, like, the weirdest, wackiest looking tracks. And when my parents would walk in the living room, they'd be like, Jesus Christ, are you fucking kidding me? And every time they had guests over, they would have to explain the long-ass Hot Wheels track just sitting on the middle of the floor, and now nobody has any room to stand anywhere. But I mean, most of the tracks just suck. Like, you would just launch them and they would just fall off, right? I had so many Hot Wheels cars, though. I was a merchant. Like I said, I was a collector back in the day. And I even had like this little case where you could put them all in. I had like so many. And I would just put them in a line for some reason and just line them up, I guess. I don't know why. Don't ask questions. I was a weird ass kid. And my parents and my grandparents or my aunt or whoever was watching me for the day, they'd be like, the fuck is this kid doing? Why is he just putting them in a line? Like, what is the point? I don't know why, but really dumb things like that would just keep me entertained for hours. Either that, or I'd put my little Go-Go's in a line, or I'd stare at my Pokemon cards, lie them all out on the floor. I would bring my toys everywhere. I'd bring like 3 tubs to my grandmother's house back in the day. I was acting like I was about to stay the week there or some shit. Jesus. I just brought so many toys because I'm like, I just never knew which ones to play with. I had so many. Now we gotta talk about Nerf guns, bro. There would always be some kind of Nerf war going down with the homies. I remember at my friend's like Nerf-themed birthday party, we had this big-ass Nerf war. It was fire. And I really had like the worst gun too. Like, I was chips. I guess like the whole point was you'd bring your Nerf gun, or I mean, this kid had a fucking arsenal of Nerf guns. Like, I was a little bit concerned. But this dude had like a minigun, like that shot just a shit ton of bullets. And I just remember him just loading that bitch up, and I was like, holy shit. And I was so scared. I was like running for my life. And there was me with a little shitty pistol. That's obviously not gonna do shit. We also did have like a water balloon war there too, and it was very fun. Like, that was a W birthday party, I'm not gonna lie. Skylanders. Just another collectible for me. But man, I could actually use them. So I was hyped every time I was able to get a Skylander. But holy shit, were they expensive. I remember going into a GameStop one day, and it was literally 40 bucks for one of the Skylanders Giants. And I was like, hell nah, bro, hell nah. Like, at that point, I'd much rather just buy a game. Like, I mean, I had plenty of Skylanders. And again, I still have them to this day. I was just cracked at the game because that's literally the only game I was playing at the time was Skylanders. Like, I literally played nothing else. I'd have phases where I'd get back into it too. Now, there was this one in particular that was really rare. I think it was called Wham Shell. I just remember doing the most to get it because it was my favorite Skylander out of all of them. Like, I even went on eBay and I was trying to bid and shit with people until one day I saw it. I saw it in Toys R Us. Me and Duck just bolted over and we were both screaming, "Oh my God, we got it. We got the win. Yo, we did it. We did it." And so many people in the store, the employees, the customers, they were just looking at us like, what the fuck are these kids talking about? Now, these toys weren't really like during my childhood per se, but they were just crazy. They were on another level. We gotta talk about fidget spinners. Now, these toys just took over the globe, bro. Everybody had one, like dead ass, everybody. And you would see all sorts of like markets open up at like these outlet stores, basically just selling fidget spinners. Like, I still see them today. I could have bought 2 t-shirts, right? I was at like this outlet place near me. I could have bought 2 t-shirts, but instead, you want to know what I did? I bought a diamond fidget spinner. A fucking diamond fidget spinner for $40 plus tax. Like, the craze was insane with fidget spinners, and they literally just fell off the face of the earth a year later in 2018. I don't have it anymore, all right? Because I was like, ew, fidget spinners are cringe, and I just fucking threw them away. But overall, it was goated, and it really kept me distracted in class when I didn't grow up with the strictest parents ever, but nah, growing up with foreign parents, bro, that's a completely different story. Now, I didn't grow up with foreign parents, but I'm sure some of you watching this video did. When I was younger, I thought my parents were extremely strict, but honestly, now looking back at it, I'm kind of glad they did what they did. And for that, I thank them, because I definitely wouldn't be here. And now the reason I thought my parents were so strict is because I wasn't allowed to do certain things, but my friends were. I would always be pouting and bitching about it. And the words that would leave my mouth a lot were, "That's not fair." That would always be leaving my mouth. I'd be like, "That's not fair. My friends are allowed to play video games for more than an hour." Some kids probably weren't even allowed to play video games. I don't know why the hell I was complaining. I was a bum when I was in 2nd, 3rd grade. Like, I wouldn't really do anything. I didn't play sports until I picked up baseball. Other than that, I wouldn't really do anything. So obviously they were trying to get me to go outside because I would be on that Discord mod timing with my Wii, bro. I'd be on there for like 6 hours a day. So when they implemented this, obviously I was so mad, bro. Like, I could have cried and bitched all I want. I could have passed out on the fucking floor. Like, I could have used every last breath until I tired myself out. They wouldn't have cared. And that's a good thing, honestly. Why would they ever listen to my spoiled ass? I was over here acting like I paid for the Wi-Fi bill. Nah, I was collecting pennies on the floor, bro. I was not balling. Like, I was a fucking brat when I was a kid. Like, I'm not even lying to you, bro. I would whine like a bitch until I got Mario Galaxy 2. There's an entire story behind this, bro. Like, we both got fucked up haircuts, right? My brother got a goddamn mohawk. And my dad was like, "What the fuck do you have on your head?" "All right, I'm shaving both of you." We were like, "Yeah." And they got us the game because they went through enough that day. They did not want to hear us bitch any longer. And they were like, "All right, we need a plan. I'm sick of this kid bitching at me to buy him stuff. How about we give him an allowance?" So that's exactly what they did. I got an allowance, and, you know, I was saving up enough money to buy these games. And I was making like $5 a week. Yeah, it took me a while, but I did it. But hey, man, it taught me the importance of money, and it's good to teach kids that at a young age. Obviously, I didn't understand that at the time, and I was just being a little bitch. It is not like I had a huge-ass laundry list of chores. I was complaining over 4 things. That's all I had to do. 4 things. Take out the trash. Wash the windows whenever they needed to be washed. Dust. And empty the dishwasher. Oh, the horror. Oh my God. In this scenario, I don't know why I was complaining, but I would also get money for when I would do good on my report card. I'd get like $5 for every A that I got. So when report cards came in, I made some pretty good money. But whenever I got bad grades, oh, it was raps. But we'll get to that later. Now, when I was in elementary school, I couldn't really get a bad grade, if that makes sense. The grading scale was like all over the place. And there was like a no child left behind law or something. I don't know. Now, when I wasn't playing video games inside, I would be at my neighbor's house. I would spawn camp there. That was my spot. And my neighbor was like, "Yo, can you sleep over? Like, just ask your parents." You can already see where this is going. And I would go home and be like, "Mom, can I sleep over?" No. "But why? My neighbor's mom allowed it." "Because I said so." They would always be saying that. Like, I don't know why. They just could not come up with a reason. Like, they're acting like I'm trying to sleep in a kidnapper's van, bro. I'm literally going to my neighbor's house that I've known for years. We were literally right across the street. Like, who cares? Yeah, I'm gonna have to definitely disagree with this one still to this day. I don't understand why. Now, when I went to my friends that I've also known for years, he was having like a sleepover party, right? And guess what? My parents picked me up, and my ass had to go home at 11. Me and the duck were the only motherfuckers that had to go home. We were picked up at 11, and we had to go home, and everyone else got to sleep over. I was fucking mauling, seething at the mouth. I was so mad. Like, I was in my fucking revenge villain arc or whatever. I wanted to call my mom a curse word, so that's how I get my get back. That's what I'll do. Like, what the hell was my plan? I don't even know. Now, I decided to cook up the greatest insult of all time to my mom. I called her lame. Yeah. I was like, Mom, you're lame. And she was like, you know what? For that, you don't get to play video games at all tomorrow. What? No, I take it back. Please. I was such a bitch, bro. She was like, nope, you lost your privileges. I thought that was the ultimate get back, but I couldn't even stand by my words, bro. That's crazy. And now talking back to my parents, that was another story, bro. Like, oh my God. Nah, they would get really mad when I would talk back to them. Like, sometimes when I was being a bitch to my mom, my dad would just straight up slap me in the face, bro. And I deserved every inch of that slap. Now, he didn't, like, hurt me or anything. It was just enough to, like, knock some sense into me. Like, one time I told my mom to shut up. I don't know the reason, but then I just got a 5-star to the face. And, of course, I couldn't take it. I started bawling my eyes out like a little bitch. But in retrospect, it probably didn't even hurt that much. I was just being a little baby. Enough of my jit days. Let's move on to when I was a little older. Now, when I was in middle school, I was seeing people with phones, all right? Not a lot of people, but some people had them, and I was like, whoa, they're so cool. Now, at the time, the iPhone 6 was the best phone, and that was the phone I wanted. I was like, please get me an iPhone 6, please. Now, I was begging because my friend had one, and she's like, no, you're not responsible enough to have a phone. And I wasn't. Like, I was stupid as hell. Why would you give an idiot a phone? Like, you don't know what the hell he's gonna do with it. Like, my parents probably thought I was gonna prank call 911 or some shit. 911, what's your emergency? Is your the way you're wanting? Yeah, why? Yeah, you better go get it. Yo, guys, I got him good. Yeah, that's probably what I would have did if I had access to a phone. So they come home one day and they're like, here, I got something for you. I'm like, what is it? They literally gave me a flip phone, bruh. And yeah, you know what? That's kind of fair. They don't want me breaking a brand new iPhone because that shit's expensive. And then I was like, no, bro, I'm gonna get flamed. Oh, no. Like, I was fucking crying, bro, because I thought I was gonna get flamed. And that I did. I got fucking roasted. Nah, this motherfucker got a flip phone. Yo, why does bro got the Nokia from Wish? Bro revived the BlackBerry. What the fuck? That thing recorded on 360p. But guys, I can play Flappy Bird though. Yeah, that's cool and all, but your screen's small as fuck. You're gonna need a magnifying glass to see that shit. I got lit up, bro. There was some friendly fire in there too. My friends were roasting the hell out of me. But then I took pretty good care of the flip phone. So they were like, you know what? For your birthday, I'll get you a new phone. And oh my God, I was souped. I was like, let's go, I got a new phone. And of course, when I got it, I showed it off to all my friends. And of course, there was that one spoiled kid in my grade that was like,
but you had the iPhone 5. Technically, it's not the iPhone 6S.
like, bro, shut the hell up. It's literally still a phone. Why do you care? Now, middle school, I also got an Xbox, right? Like, I wasn't allowed to play Call of Duty for the longest, bro. Or GTA. Like, that was just a no-go in my crib. And I was very geeked to get that. But in high school, I was playing way too much Xbox. Like, I would play a lot, bro, and I was definitely not able to manage my time on there. So what they decided to do was just to completely shut the Wi-Fi off with this app. Like, I would be in the middle of ranked games sometimes, and the Wi-Fi would just shit itself. Like, I used to play Rainbow Six Siege, like, all the time. Like, I would sweat that game. And my friends would be like, what the fuck happened to Burdie and the duck? Oh, it's 11. Their Wi-Fi shut off. And of course, yeah, I got smoked for it the next day. They were like, bro, come on, mid-game? I'm like, yeah, nah, my bad. And they finally stopped shutting off the Wi-Fi until I started to prove to them that, like, YouTube could make money. Like, literally, they would even shut it off on me, like, when I was working on videos back then. Like, hey, man, I was trying to enjoy myself and make a career out of it. Like, come on, bro. Let me chase my bread. Come on. And it got even worse when I got my first C in high school. Oh, no, a C. So scary. Yeah, I didn't get it either. I didn't really understand. I generally got good grades in school, but trigonometry, fuck that. Like, that shit, I still don't understand it to this day. That was the one test I failed in my geometry class, and they were on my dome piece about it. And they're like, listen, no, you're done. We're taking your Xbox away. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I thought it was over. I thought the world was crashing and burning. This is the first time I was close to failing a test, and they just went panic mode, bro. And I couldn't play during the week until the summer. That was rough. That was kind of brutal. And my friends are like, bro, where the fuck are you? Get on Xbox. What are you doing? I'm like, bro, it's a weekday. I can't. I didn't even know what to do half the time. I was so bored because my friends would just play Xbox. I couldn't drive, so it's not like I could go anywhere. Bro, I was like 14 years old. I couldn't do shit. But eventually, I could drive, and I finally got my license, and I started going out more. And they had me install this app on my phone called Life 360. Yeah, you can probably already see where this is going. Now, God forbid, I hate to call my mom and dad helicopter parents, but they had a little bit of it in their blood. I'm not gonna lie. Like that one was kind of crazy. I get being worried about your kid, right? But bro, having your kids download Life 360 is kind of crazy. And every time I would turn it off, like it would kill the fuck out of my battery. They were like, hey, can you turn your Life 360 back on? I was like, oh my God. And I guess they thought I was gonna try and pull a fast one and skip school or like lie to them as to where I was going. And I never really did that. Obviously, if I said I was going to a friend's house, I went there. So they knew where I was. So I don't know why they were so worried. Maybe I skipped school once or twice, but we don't talk about that. But by then it was my senior year. I already had really good grades, so they didn't care. They would let me invite my friends over to drink apple juice. But my Wi-Fi still went out. And I'm like, what the hell? This doesn't make any sense. Plenty of dumb things I did as a kid. I mean, believe it or not, I was probably one of the dumbest kids on the planet, but I somehow still got good grades, which honestly surprises me because, Jesus, I was dumb as a rock. I genuinely had one brain cell when I was a kid. Like, I don't know what was going on with me. I guess the lack of life experience made me want to try, like, the stupidest things. And it also made my brain have, like, the dumbest thoughts of all time. So, first of all, when I was a kid, to start, I was pretty gullible. I would believe anything if somebody said it to me, especially my parents. Whatever they would tell me, I would believe 100%. The concept of lying just did not exist in my brain at all. So, when I was a kid, I would always wear shorts, even when it was really cold. Like, I just liked wearing shorts because they just felt more comfortable. And even if it was like 30 degrees out, I was just repping shorts. I was that guy. So my parents decided to implement this thing called the summer fairy, and I somehow believed it. So then what they basically told me is that in like November or October, the summer fairy would come and take all my summer clothes and return them in the summer. And somehow that made sense in my brain, that there was just like a fairy that just took all my clothes and just poofed them all away magically. Yeah, I don't know, man. I was really out here believing anything. But one day I was just looking around in like the spare bedroom that we have. In this room, we basically just kept a bunch of old shit in here. And I was going through one of the drawers because I was kind of nosy. And then all of a sudden, I see all my summer clothes just sitting in that drawer. And I think my 7-year-old brain, 6-year-old brain, whatever, finally made the connection. I was like, hey, wait a minute. There's no summer fairy. Yeah, no shit, bro. I mean, I was too old to be believing in that shit. Like 7 years old? Like, come on, bro. But oh my God, when I found out, I was so mad. My eyebrows were shriveling up. I was crying. Okay, it wasn't that serious. You get the idea. I was stamping my feet down the stairs, and I was like, Mom, you lied? Yeah, I lied. What are you gonna do about it? And I made that noise that like all little kids make when they get mad. I was like, you know what I'm saying? So I just ran back upstairs and just ransacked my room for all my summer clothes. And I was over here like, that'll show her. And she just didn't care. So like I said, I was extremely gullible. So another thing I would do is like, sometimes I would just make a mad face. And my parents would always tell me, don't do that. Your face is gonna get stuck like that. Okay, first of all, how does that even work? How the fuck does your face just get stuck like that? So every time I would kind of just like rest my eyebrows, right? And they would kind of like move down slightly. I would like push them up. I'm like, oh no, I don't want my face to get stuck like that. It's literally a habit like instilled into me to this day. The next thing took place at my grandmother's house, all right? So I was chilling and I was eating like a box of Cheez-Its or something like that. And you know that classic saying that parents would use like, oh, if you eat too much of something, you're gonna turn into it. Well, I was eating Cheez-Its and I almost ate like the entire box. Like I was really fiending on the Cheez-Its. Now my grandfather is a man of many sayings, okay? So he walked up to me and of course he used this saying, right? And he was like, hey, kiddo, slow down there. Don't eat all those Cheez-Its. If you eat too many, you might turn into one. I was crying in the club, all right? Like, I genuinely thought that I was going to turn into a Cheez-It. Yes. I don't know how much dumber it can get at this point. So, yeah, let's just say I stopped eating Cheez-Its for a long time after that one. You know how in movies when you'd see a kid, like, go up to a pole and, like, stick his tongue on it? I wanted to try that for some reason. Like, I just thought that would be a good idea for some reason. So I tried it, and my tongue actually got stuck. Like, of course that's gonna happen. I don't know why I was out here trying shit in movies. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just wanted to test the theory. I don't know why, but my tongue was stuck for like a solid minute until we poured water on it or something. And I, for some reason, was one to like eating things or licking things. Like I ate a penny before, licked Play-Doh to see what it tastes like. And I also licked a keyboard before. And I wondered why my immune system was so weak. Wow, I really wonder. I ended up skipping half my kindergarten year because I was always sick. I was sticking a bunch of shit in my mouth. All right, you didn't hear that one. Licking stuff. So I was basically sick all the time. Now, sometimes when I was sick, I would be watching movies. I would watch a movie on a channel or something like that. I would always think they were performing the movie like live in front of me. I genuinely thought it was a live stream or something. Like, there's no way the movie could be like pre-made. No, that's just not possible. These movie actors, man, they're always busy. You know what I'm saying? They're just gonna replay it over and over again. So when I actually did go to school, right, I was not the most intelligent, but my grades were good because, well, it was kindergarten or first grade at the time. Now, I don't know if this one was just me, but probably not, or maybe. I genuinely believed that teachers lived at the school. So one day I asked my teacher, I don't know, we'll call her Mrs. Jones. So I went up to her, hey, Mrs. Jones, how do you sleep? Like, there's no bed in here. And she's like, oh, silly, I don't live at the school. I live at my home. And I just felt like a fucking idiot. I think I was in like first or second grade. Thank God there was no one else in class and I was just being an academic weapon today and I was like the second kid in class. So if anybody else saw that, that would have been pretty embarrassing. So the next one is kind of related to dreams. So sometimes, you know, when you wake up from a dream, you kind of still see what was in your dream because your body's not fully awake yet. The first time that happened to me, I was 4 years old, right? And I woke up and saw like this giant dog, like just standing above me. And I was afraid of dogs at the time because I was just a little kid and I didn't want to get my face eaten off by a German Shepherd. So I saw it and then I just screamed and I was like hiding under my blanket and just shivering for like 2 hours straight. When I screamed, my dad came in my room and he's like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, there's a dog over there. Watch out. I thought I was out here saving lives, bro. He was like, no, there isn't. What do you mean? I'm like, yes, there is. Be careful. And I just like stayed under the blanket and it took him 2 hours to convince me that there was nothing there. At 6 in the morning, I finally peeked my head out of the blanket, shivering in fear, and saw nothing there. And I was like, whew, thank God. He's gone. He's not gone, you fucking idiot. He was never there in the first place. Like, it actually hurts my brain how stupid I was, bro. Remember the gotcha nose thing? So my cousin, he was way older than me. Now, something that people would do with kids at the time was the whole gotcha nose thing. And I was at my grandma's house and he was there at the time. He walked upstairs and he said hi to me and he was just goofing around with me. I don't know. I was doing some stupid shit, running around in circles. And all of a sudden he was like, gotcha nose. And I was like, where's my nose? And he would just like wiggle his thumb between all his fingers. And that made it more believable to my 4-year-old brain because half of it was covered. So I ran over to his hand and I was like punching his hand. I was like, give me my nose back. And it was really an emotional moment. And I was like clawing open his hands and he opened his hand and he's like, ha ha, there's nothing there, you idiot. And I was like, you tricked me. Yeah, no shit. You're gonna get tricked as a stupid 4-year-old. Like, I mean, shit happens. And after that, I literally thought he was like a magician or something. I don't know, because I thought he was like holding my nose and then it just disappeared, or I don't know. There was a lot of things going on in my brain. It was really emotional. I thought I really lost my nose. So the last thing on the list, I don't know if it's a common family tradition for a lot of you, but our family would eat lentils on New Year's Day. And this kind of reminded me because I'm recording this on New Year's Day. Now, I guess people eat lentils on New Year's. I don't know, because it's like a good way to start off the new year because it's healthy or something like that. And my family was like trying to get me to eat them, right? So they were like, oh, you're gonna get a lot of money this year if you eat lentils. And I was like, really? I'm gonna get paid? And they're like, yeah, you're gonna get paid. So like as I was eating the lentils, somebody put like a $5 bill in my pocket and I guess I just didn't notice. And then everybody was like, check your pocket. And I checked it and there was a $5 bill. I was like, whoa, oh my God. Like I was actually like fucking mesmerized but that there was a $5 bill in my pocket after I ate lentil. In conclusion, my parents are probably really disappointed. Want another video to watch? Watch this video on screen. Anyways, I'm out. Bye.